Hey guys, so I've got a question for you all today. Could you use an Android phone that doesn't have access to Google services? This is a discussion I had a few weeks ago on the website Hot UK Deals. We were discussing Huawei phones and by extension Honor phones, which I'm sure you're aware are not allowed to have the Google Play Store or Google apps installed on them, at least not officially, because of the US trade war. So when you buy those phones, you have to install apps via the Huawei or Honor App Store. Now, when the whole trade war thing with Huawei arose, my automatic assumption was that I can't use those phones. I rely on Google services too much. I'm a YouTuber, which is owned by Google. I use Gmail, a Google service. I use Google Analytics. I use Google Docs. I use several different Google services. So I do rely on Google for YouTube, for emails, and for general online work. So that is an issue. But that discussion did make me think, could I use a non-Google Android phone? Because a lot of those services I use can be accessed via a website. That's, there are workarounds to that, and you can kind of work around them, sideload them as well, sideload the apps. One of the reasons I'm bringing this up as well is because of the Huawei P40 Pro. Now, I've got the Huawei P30 from last year. This does have Google, and it's a great phone. It's still got fantastic battery life, and I still think it's a great phone. But the Huawei P40 Pro is just a gorgeous phone. It's got this 90Hz OLED screen. It's got the dual selfie camera there. On the back is a quad camera system. It's got a 50, 12 and 40 megapixel sensor and then a 3D camera sensor as well. You can see it there, 50, 12 megapixel telephoto, 40 megapixel ultra wide, and then you've got the 3D sensor. Now, specifications, as always, they only tell you part of the story. You have to match that with good software as well. But if you look at the specs of this, it is, the specs of the Huawei P40 Pro are impressive, and the reviews of this phone are impressive too. I mean, on DxOMark, the Huawei P40 Pro has the best camera. It's got the best review for the camera. And the Honor, which Honor is owned by Huawei, if the Honor 30 Pro Plus, that's got the second best score there, above a lot of these other, like the Samsung Galaxy S20 as well. Now, I'm not saying that the Huawei P40 Pro is automatically better than all other phones on that list, because you always have to take these reviews with a pinch of salt as well. But the Huawei P40 Pro is undoubtedly a very, very good phone. And it's a little bit annoying that because of this trade war thing that, this phone is not accessible to all of us. One of the things that I talked about in the discussion I had on Hot UK Deals was I can use a lot of these services, like Gmail and YouTube and all that. I can use a lot of those on websites, and I can kind of work around a lot of them, and it's not a big deal breaker. You can use shortcuts and different things. You can sideload the apps unofficially. My main concern was apps that I rely on. The Huawei App Store, as good as it is, I'm sure they've installed, they've got Facebook and WhatsApp and a lot of other popular apps, but there's a lot of apps that I use that will not be there. Camera apps, or more importantly, banking apps. My bank is very, very annoying with the way they've got it with security. You can only have the banking app installed on one phone and one phone only. And I've seen this with other banking apps as well, that if you try and install it, for example, on a rooted phone, it will say, sorry, your phone has been rooted. We cannot install the app, and it will not let you log in. And you need to log in to get the security code to log into the website. So there are some limitations with only using the Huawei App Store, and it's going to be, I was going to say it was going to take a long time for it to reach the same status as the Google App Store, but I don't think the Huawei App Store is ever going to reach the same level as the Google Play Store. At least not for the range of apps available, and at least not for official apps like banking apps and things like that. But could I live without all that? Could I use YouTube and use Gmail through websites? Could I use, an email client for Gmail? Could I use the browser for YouTube? Or could I work around the banking problem by keeping my old phone? I'm not professing to know an answer to all of this, and I haven't ordered the Huawei P40 Pro yet, but I am looking at some of these Honor phones and Huawei phones, and the price of some of these phones is very, very attractive, and these phones are good phones. So this is something I need to think about, and this is something I need to review in the future, because I'm curious how I would actually live day to day without Google. I don't like being dependent on them, and I do like the fact that someone is, building a phone without them. Let me know what you think about this, guys. I don't profess to have all the answers to this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Could you use a Huawei phone or an Honor phone or any other phone in 2020 that doesn't have access to the Google Play Store or official Google apps? Let me know what you think in the comment area, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.